All right, and welcome once again to the Undiluted Podcast. It's JP. Here today with me, I got two special guests. I got my boy CJ calling in from Detroit. And I also got my homegirl Flic. She's currently in Jersey, but from NY. And today, check you out. So today on this episode 7, we'll be discussing the incident that's circulating around social media constantly throughout the week. Jill Scott and the incident with her microphone during the performance. And we'll also be taking a dive into a discussion that needs to be held, I think, about the suppression of women's sexuality. So, let's dive right into it. First of all, let's dive into the actual incident that sparked this. So, Jill Scott, she was performing at her concert, and she started doing one of her songs, doing like, I guess, displaying, how it looks when a woman gives head. You know what I'm saying? And she went into the twist and stroke, caressing the balls, all that. You know what I'm saying? It turned some people on. It outraged some people. We got people coming out of the woodworks like, oh, she needs to calm down, or that's some. I mean, and people just keep talking about it. We here right now. It's Friday. I think this video is actually from 2017, and it just popped up out of nowhere. So so we'll start out with you, Flic. What's your thoughts on that video?
Alright, so I loved it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I liked it a lot. I love the fact that she expressed herself the way that she felt that she needed to. And I honestly want to feel like I want to feel bad, but I don't, because it's about time. Because for the longest time, like, women weren't able to express themselves the way that they felt like they could because of the stigma. And I'm happy that she did. And I honestly want to know, like, what, from a male perspective, like, did you guys see it as it being hoish? Or did you guys, like, genuinely enjoy it and still respect her? Because the thing is that from what I've seen, like, on my timeline, because obviously this was on Facebook that I've seen it, and on my timeline, I've seen a lot of females bigger up, and I've seen a lot of dudes like, hey, yo, that's what's up, this, that, and the third. But, this is the first time, because had it been Nicki Minaj or had it been Cardi B, she would have been all sorts of whores. She would have been all sorts of whores, sluts, bitches, this, that, and the third. But because of who she is and because of how she normally carries herself, this was looked at differently. It was more of a sensual sense than it was like just bold-faced sexual. So I want to hear from the men. Like, how do y'all feel about it?
How did you feel,
CJ?
Well, as far as the video is concerned, you say it was from 2017. First of all, when I saw this video, I just didn't think much of it, because as somebody who listens to Jill Scott, she clearly states in her music all the time that she's about that life. Right. Now, it may be rare for her to do something like that on stage, but I honestly didn't see the big deal. As far as women's, the suppression of women's sexuality, I don't think that's been the case for a very long time. I just think it's the word behind it, but nobody, the word behind the word being a hoe or a slut, but I don't think that's stopped anything. I just think it's more popular now to do it and it'd be seen in the mainstream spotlight. But as far as like, she's a hoe and all that kind of, no, I just think she was just trying to pay some bills. She got to pay that alimony So she got to get people talking, and she trying to up them ticket sales, and that's all that is. I don't think it's.
The thing is that this came out in 2017. The video was from 2017, or the performance was from 2017. So I don't really think it's about alimony or having to pay bills. I think it was just somebody who felt like this needed to be shared. But as far as you saying that women's sexuality has been a big thing, the thing is that women have always been sexual. It's our ability to express it without having the stigma of being called a hoe. See, because you have women like Lil' Kim that's been out there fucking
for 20 years.
What? Designer pussy. My shit come in flavors, hot classics. Niggas got this in paper. But it was okay because she was personifying what people would consider a hoe. And she literally ran off of that shit.
But here's the thing, though.
But when you're talking about like a woman owning her sexuality and trying to own it in a respectful way, that's not something that's common.
Right. Okay.
That's not something that's common at all. Because either you a hoe or you're respectable. Like, that's just how it is. And that's mostly how it is with the black females. See, because Madonna been doing this shit for decades. Let's go ahead and keep it real quick. Madonna been doing this for decades. And even she was being called out, but it was okay to a certain extent. It was more acceptable for Madonna to do it than it was for a black woman to do it. See, with black women, we have to work extra hard in order to be deemed as respectful as any other anything.
Yeah, you got Michelle Obama can't even show her arms without the media throwing a frenzy, going into a frenzy.
Without people losing their fucking mind. But then you have Melinda Mexico, whatever the fuck her name is, in the office right now, and the bitch was a porn star, but nobody say anything about that other than obviously Democrats, but we ain't gonna get on that. But we're only doing that just because of the bullshit that Michelle went through. But like I said, black women, like as far as we are concerned, like we had to be respectful. I think of Dorothy Dandridge. Think of fucking what was her name? I don't want to say Jacqueline Baker. What's her name? Josephine Baker. Think of her. Like, these women had to be fully dressed. We had to be classy women. We were deemed sexual, but we had to be classy women. Like, we weren't able to express ourselves the way even white women were, but even white women couldn't express themselves like that without being shamed. So right now, I want to say it's a big plus in what I see in the community today, that I personally haven't seen anyone say, oh, she's a whore, this and that and the third, when it comes to Jill Scott. But
let me just add. It's two things that come to mind when you make statements. Like, when you make those statements, one, women actually give a fuck what everybody else thinks.
We do.
Men don't, which is why we can go out here and be over sexualized and don't care. And two, at the end of the day, when you look at society as a whole, and when you look at men and women relationships, you have to sit back and think. When it comes to a woman getting a husband, no man really wants to wife up a hoe at the end of the day.
Correct.
They'll say that's cute and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll fuck a hoe and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, nobody really wants to wife up a slut or a hoe or whatever you want to call it.
For the record, you're not calling Jill Scott a hoe for her actions, though, right?
Oh, no, I don't know Jill Scott, so I'm not calling her a hoe for that. I'm not calling her a hoe or a slut. I think she's trying to sell tickets. That's all that is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure she do like to do all that stuff. I don't understand why people are tripping. People got this whole idea that these herbal tea, Mother Earth chicks don't have sex. I don't know why they think that. Erykah Badu got 4 baby daddies, and she ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, she the queen of the whole Mother Earth deal. So I think people are just making something out of nothing because it came from her. She done been all in the Christian Tyler Perry movies and all that other bullshit. So when you see her sucking dick or to a mic on stage, then niggas gonna trip. And I don't understand what the big deal. I personally thought the shit was mediocre, to be honest. I was like, okay. Like, I've seen Janet damn near fuck a fan on stage. Like, that wasn't shit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
my thoughts on it, man, I felt like it was just some regular shit that adults would enjoy at a show. It's entertainment. And what made me come to the whole suppression of female sexuality, the way I look at it is like, we know damn well us guys, or male entertainers can get away with doing so much shit and nobody blink an eye, and a lot of people, women encourage it, men encourage it, whatever. But it's like say for example, we got Chris Brown or Trey Songz. They gyrate on them, you know what I'm saying? They dancing on them, taking their clothes off, doing all kind of shit, and some of them even take them to the hotel room and fuck some of these girls, man. Like, so for women, a lot of women that I saw on my timeline, that come out and say, "Oh, Jill Scott's a hoe for doing that," or "Oh, she gotta have some class about herself," or shit like that. Really? You not saying that when these men doing this shit?
Absolutely. Absolutely, but that's because it's a double standard. Yeah. It's a double standard, and you know what? The double standard is not going to ever go away. The double standard is not going to ever go away because it has been beaten into us for centuries.
Yeah, right. And then you also, a lot of these people. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, CJ.
Well, I was going to say a lot of these women can't separate entertainment from real life. If you even look at people like Cardi B, for example, you'll see her twerking on stage pregnant and all that shit. But when she's at the crib, I'm sure she's not like that. A lot of that shit is for the camera because this is the type of persona that she's created for herself. Now, maybe she is like that in real life a little bit, but I guarantee you there's some sort of line between what she portrays on the internet versus how she is in real life. You know what I'm saying? Because she's grown a fan base, and that fan base has gravitated to that persona. You have a whole generation of women that identify with the Cardi B's and the ratchet behavior and all that type of shit. So maybe that's why Jill Scott felt that she needed to do something like that to get her audience up. Because Jill not really popping like that out here right now. So she was like, shit. I mean, and that's why, like they say the video came out in 2017. I feel like those were her PR people saying that just so it wouldn't make it look as bad as it. To me, it don't look bad at all. But you got a lot of these uptight chicks who probably really at home getting a train ran on them and all that type of shit, saying, well, you shouldn't be doing that and all that type of shit. So,
or they're getting cheated on. They're getting cheated on by their husbands or their significant others that want a female like that. See, my problem is that people are calling her a hoe because of that, or like you said before, you feel like Cardi B is doing that just for fan base and she can't be like that at home. Why can't she? Like that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I should be able to express myself out in the streets and be the same person when doors are closed. Like, there shouldn't be a stigma so bad to where I can only do this to get attention, but I can't actually express myself behind closed doors. Like, I gotta be somebody else. Like, me personally, Flic, hey, I am who the hell I am. I'm who I am on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and at home. But a lot of these women feel like, I don't want to say that they feel this way, but I want to let it be known, like, to everyone, like it's not just for TV sometimes. Like, sometimes this is who we are. How do we know that she didn't feel her music so much that it literally took her to another place where she was so comfortable, i.e. home, that she did that? Because this is so
flashbacks,
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, not for nothing, but to me, that shit was like regular shit. I thought all women knew about the two-hand twisty. Like, I thought that was some shit that was regular. The two-hand twisty. You guys do that.
Caressing the balls, he did,
Right. Like, that's something to me that's regular. The thing is, you know why I think it was blown out of proportion is the fact that because it's Jill Scott that did it. Like I said before, if it was Cardi B or it was Nicki Minaj, they expect that from them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And there's nothing wrong.
Like, Jill Scott, they look at Jill, like, people look at Jill Scott, like, they have her on such a pedestal. Like, she is the woman of all women. Like, we sympathize with her with, why did I get married? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we sympathize. But remember, she was the same woman that's like, let's take a long walk. Like, but she knew what the hell she was doing.
And right. She was damn near trying to fuck in the park. Like, yeah, the song, exactly. Smoke a tree, and all that shit.
Exactly. So I think that when we speak about the suppression of women's sexuality, that is a big issue because women aren't able to embrace their true persona without having the stigma of being labeled.
Check this out.
We shouldn't be labeled because we enjoy sex. Is it a bad thing that we enjoy sex as much as men do?
Not at all.
But that's an issue. But that is a big issue when it comes to mainstream media. It's like as if like, okay, great, you like sex, awesome, but men enjoy it more, which is why the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz get to sit there and grind on females, and niggas is over here, or ninjas. I'm trying not to say niggas. Ninjas is over here like, hey, yo, that's what's up, and women is over here, you know, like, ooh, I wish you could do that to me, but you know, like, that's why that's happening. Because at the end of the day, for centuries, sex has always been for men. It wasn't for women to enjoy.
And it's coincidentally, I'm looking at this right here. You guys ever heard of female hysteria?
No. School me.
Heard of what? You said heard of what?
Female hysteria. So it's basically women considered to have exhibited a wide area of symptoms, including anxiety, shortness of breath, fainting, nervousness, sexual desire, insomnia, fluid retention, heaviness in the abdomen, and just a bunch of different symptoms that would not land you in a fucking insane asylum. But sexual desires is one of them. And back then, they would throw you in the crazy house if you was a woman and you were openly sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, nobody's denying that. Like, nobody's denying that it's a double standard and everything like that. It's just, I think people, when it comes to the people of today and the men and women of today, women have to decide what they want to be, and whatever they decide they want to be, they have to accept the consequences that come with that choice of what they want to be. If you want to be openly sexual and all that kind of stuff, you have to accept the consequences that comes with that, because you do have men out here that's openly sexual that say, I fuck 20 different bitches all the time, and you got women who get turned off by that. I'm not feeling that, or I'm not feeling this. Now, I'm just speaking for myself.
Correct.
If I'm with a female and I found out that she done fucked 60, 70 niggas, I ain't fucking with her. I'll fuck her, but I ain't taking her serious though. And that's just me, because I don't want something that everybody else had.
I mean, that's understandable.
And that's how a lot of men, especially men of means, that's how a lot of dudes feel. I don't want a woman that's been ran through by all my niggas. Mm-hmm. My niggas know who she is. My niggas know what my pussy feel like, all that type of shit.
So what if she's had sex with a bunch of guys you don't know?
Well, that's why I don't ask. I've always had the mentality, if I don't know, I'd rather not know. I've never asked any woman that I've been with, how many niggas have you fucked? Because one, that's not my business. And two, if I hear something I don't like, it's gonna fuck it up.
So don't ask, don't tell.
I'd rather not ask. I'd rather not ask. So you don't have to lie to me. I'd rather not know, so you don't have to lie to me. Because 9 times out of 10, you'll never get the truth.
So if the subject did happen to come up and it was revealed that she had a high body count prior to you, would that make you look at her different, even though you love her to death?
Absolutely.
It would?
Absolutely.
Oh, see, wow. And that's crazy to me.
Because I can be honest with you and say, don't tell me, because it's not my business. Because I'm telling you now, if I hear something I don't like, you will forever be tainted in my eyes. But and I know that's very judgmental.
What makes men?
But I can't help it.
But what makes men think that a woman wants somebody that every female has had? Because I don't. Because
history says so.
Well, wow. History is wrong. History is very wrong. History is very wrong.
Let me
because
tell you
just
something.
like there are some men, because there's only some men that feel the way you do. Not all. But best believe that there are a lot of women as well that are like, oh, damn, you've been around the block. Oh, so you fucking everybody? You're fucking everybody? We don't want that shit either.
It depends. Okay, and I can't say, you can never say all. But I'll say it depends on his status. It depends on his status. It depends on how much money he has. Because I'll tell you what, A lot of women will put up with shit from different dudes.
You're talking about
depending
girls.
on what.
You're talking about girls.
I'm talking about grown women.
No, you're talking about no. Because being a woman is a state of mind. You're talking about girls. There's girls that are 40, 50, 60 years old. You are talking about girls. When it comes to a grown woman that is on her shit, she don't want to be with some dude that's been around the block 15, 20 times that ain't got his shit together, this, that, and the third. You have to definitely specify, because girls will go for anything, but grown ass women, you gotta be on your shit. I'm gonna need you to be a grown ass man.
So let me ask you a question. What do you consider a grown ass woman? What are the prerequisites for a woman to be a grown ass woman?
What are the I need a woman to be on her shit. I need a woman to be able to take care of herself without a man present.
Okay.
That's an
I need her to
independent
know
woman.
herself. I need her to know herself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, as well as physically. Like,
okay, now what type of man would this grown woman want?
A man that knows himself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And
pass all that though. I'm talking about, what do women look for when they're seeking a man? What do they look for? Pass all the emotional, all that stuff.
Okay, well, we need somebody
to the bare minimum.
To the bare minimum of it, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. To the bare minimum, I need you to be emotionally stable. I need you to be mentally stable. I need you to be financially stable. I need you to be mentally stable. Like, I need you to be stable in all categories on your own before I can even approach you, because I don't want any shit that happened. Like, I don't want to have to deal with anything that happened to me prior to me. That happened to you prior to me. Excuse me. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to know that you're already at 100%. Because I'm bringing you 100%. And so a grown ass man is at 100% without me. I need you to be at 100% without me.
But that's pretty rare these days, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was just about to say. That is rare. That's very rare to find that in a man and a woman. But it's even more rare to find that within a man, because and then it leads to this. It leads to the competition. And that's my whole thing with the whole dudes can't afford to go around the block and all that type of shit. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep it so real. Do you know why most men? Like, when it comes to the whole cheating thing, do you know why most dudes get away with it?
Why?
Do you know why? They say women are better cheaters, and I say that's not true. Men are just lazy. They don't care, because 9 times out of 10 you'll take them back. You'll take them back.
Girls take it back.
In most situations, you'll take them back. It's not about people being discreet and all that type of shit.
Bro, I can relate. I can relate. I ain't dry stitching right now, but I know so many women that have gotten away with cheating, and they dudes or exes will never know.
Yeah, because if they found out, especially if she got a man that'll provide and all that type of shit, she knows that shit is over, and she not gonna risk losing what she got at home. Just be careless with it, just for a piece of.
Why men get away with what they're getting away with is because they can provide. Because just said that
that's a big part of it. Yeah, absolutely. That's a real big part of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, because it's hard out here. Absolutely, that's a big part of it.
I think I might have to agree to a certain extent. It depends on who you're dealing with. Because if you're dealing with an independent woman, then my nigga, like, you come a dime a dozen.
But what do you consider an independent woman? Because I'm gonna tell you something right now.
A woman that can take care of everything on her own. Because I'm telling you right now, if I don't have to deal with it, I'm not. If I don't, I'm at a space where if I don't have to deal with it, I'm not.
It's a difference between being independent and being stubborn. I don't want no stubborn.
You're absolutely right. But you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that for an independent woman, we're focusing on that. I don't care about the stubborn woman. If we're talking about independent women, you can't treat them the same way that you treat the women that are dependent on you. Because them women are going to leave you. They don't need you. See, we invite you into our life. You have to prove yourself worthy. And that's how everyone should feel.
But check this out. Somebody mentioned this like a couple of months ago. I'm like, damn, I wonder why Beyonce didn't leave Jay-Z. She damn sure don't need him.
Because who she gonna find that's on Jigga's level?
Thank you. And that's exactly
That's right.
And I agree with that 110%. Because listen, when you're at a certain echelon, you can't go with nobody below that.
That's what I said at the beginning. If you remember, that's what I said. I said it depends on your status.
But they got billionaires. They got.
Certainly does. But you got to understand. But you also got to understand that Beyonce met him when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Like he molded her. Like it's no secret. He met her when she was like 16, 17 years old. He officially, quote unquote, started dating her when she was 19. He was in his 30s. If you look
do she still got that girl mentality you talking about?
No, but let me tell you what a woman craves. A woman craves a man that can lead. A woman craves a man that is powerful. So when you're at that young of an age, 16, 17 years old, and you're just meeting somebody who's been already in the game, because you got to think of the game that they've been in. They're in the same world. Somebody who's already been in the game for how long? And he's already a beast at it. And then you got to think about, like the impression that he left on her, but not even just the impression, but like everything that he does. Like he bought this woman an island. Like she would have to date a fucking ambassador. Like not even an ambassador. She would have to date a fucking king in order to get what she's getting right now.
I think she can get any bitch she wants though, damn.
Yeah, honestly. But the thing is, no, I don't because you gotta think about I don't think she can get every king that she wants to, because we only know Beyonce as far as looks at what we see. We don't know the Beyonce. We don't know like the other shit that's on the other side. So we don't know what Jay-Z's doing.
We've seen some of these guys settle down with women that didn't have shit really in comparison to what they have.
That's because niggas are slow. Especially when you take broke niggas who came from the hood, who come from nothing, and they jump on the first decent looking woman to give them some attention. See, Beyonce will have to. Beyonce will have to step her game up to a nigga that's past her level, and she's comfortable with Jay-Z. That means she got to do, because a nigga that's past her level with more money than her or Jay-Z gonna be like, okay, that Beyonce shit don't impress me. What else do you bring to the table?
Right, and you know what? And if she has, let's say she has an attitude. Let's say not even an attitude, because that shouldn't even matter. Because I think all women have attitude, regardless of ethnicity. But let's say that she has other underlining discrepancies that we don't know about. We don't know what she has. To us, we're like, how the fuck does ugly ass Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce? We don't know. We don't know Beyonce.
Right.
We don't know how she is behind the scenes. We don't know if as soon as he gets done recording the record, she's like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? Da da da. Fuck you and your motherfucking other kid overseas, over somewhere. Like da da da. Like we don't know how she is.
So let me ask you guys this. Beyonce has like a squeaky clean background, other than the right wingers running with the whole she's anti-police because she raised a fish and she must be a Black Panther. That dumb shit. But that's besides the point. How do you guys think the world would have reacted to her doing what the thing Jill Scott did that was revealed earlier this week?
I think they would have loved it. I think the entire world would have loved it, because Beyonce can do no wrong to them. Understand that Beyonce grew up with the world. Do we understand? Like Beyonce was over here talking about drunken love, and motherfuckers was on it. Like
she was talking about swallowing my food on the track.
She came up from a kid to a grown-ass woman, and people will always respect her because she did everything the way a woman is quote-unquote supposed to do. She was with the same guy for however long, married him, and then had kids. And she didn't do anything like crazy sexual. Her songs weren't crazy sexual until later on in her life, and we're like, okay, well, she's a grown-up now. She's allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And she's married.
And she's married, and she's talking about her husband. She wasn't in the video with another nigga. She was a video. She was all she does. She only does videos with her man. Like, so,
But I'm gonna keep it real with you.
people
I
can't
think they
respect
in an open. I really believe they're in an open marriage. I don't think anybody cheated on anybody. I think Jigga needed to and Beyonce needed to sell some records, and they, that whole shit came
Came
up.
up with a
I feel like
storyline.
I feel like all them Hollywood people are in open relationships. Like, I think Beyonce probably got niggas on the side. Jigga probably got chicks on the side. I mean, I think they in an open
Well,
relationship.
Jay-Z did have a chick on the side, and she turned up dead. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
For
Jay-Z
sure.
did have one chick on the side that I know of, that I looked up. This was years ago. Dark-skinned chick. She was cute too, but she wasn't as cute as Beyonce. And and she turned up dead. Nobody ever fucking investigated into it. They said it was like something minor, whatever else. But I think that when you are on that sort of level, like, it doesn't even matter. It depends on how the entire public views you, honestly. Because Trump right now is getting shitted on. Right. Trump right now was getting shitted on for having this fucking
Stormy Daniels and all these girls.
Fucking girl, right. But Jay-Z was never getting shitted on like that for having, what is it called? Not premarital, but what is it called?
Adultery.
When you have sex outside your adultery, yeah, but there's another word for it. But he was never getting shitted on, like really shitted on for adultery. But we all knew he was cheating because you know what? Let me tell you something. And it's something that I learned, and I don't care what the fuck y'all say. Men cheat because they want to cheat. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It doesn't have to be because, she's not doing what she's supposed to do, this and that and third. Sometimes the opportunity presents itself and men just jump on it. So,
and I totally agree. And it don't have to be nothing personal.
Right, it doesn't have to be personal.
Just,
that's just what they do. And you got to think about also how Beyonce grew up. See, we just learned about on her father's, his extracurricular activities. We're just learning about.
After seeing that interview that she did with her new husband, I see why he cheated on her.
Yeah, he looked kind of salty.
I see it.
She was like, "Well, you're not the perfect man I was looking for, but you'll do."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that interview. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and tag me in that interview. Go ahead and post it on Facebook or whatever and tag me in it. So, I didn't see that interview, but what I'm saying is that you also got to understand the upbringing of the women that you're talking to. You also have to, because
Yo, Flic,
Beyonce. What's up?
Let me ask you this: why do you feel some men are intimidated by women who are like very sexual?
I feel that way because for the longest time, like I said, for centuries, women weren't allowed to be that way.
But I'm saying, like, the guys right now, like guys our age, you got certain guys who will look at a woman who's like, hey, I like it like this, I like doing that, I've done this, and then the guy will sit there and say, I don't know, man, I don't know if I can handle her. She kind of wild.
That depends on his perception of the woman, though. I don't think.
Because nigga should have been ran through. That's why.
No, I don't think it's no. Because let me tell you something real quick. My number is low. But my experience is high. So
what do that?
Because just because you have a low number doesn't mean that you didn't experience a lot with those few people.
Can you break that down further? Because you're not the first person I heard to say that. Can you please break that down? Because that makes absolutely no sense.
Are you one of those people that feel like
penetration is the only way you can have sex?
No. Hold on. My daughter's barking. Who just? Oh, my ex is here. Oh, fuck. All right. So the thing is that
she about to get her jail scarred.
Oh shit.
It depends on how he acts. Listen. If he acts good, he might get that Jill Scott. If he don't act good, listen. If you don't act good, you might hear a Lemonade album. Okay? No.
Yeah. Wow.
But No, but just because a woman's count is low doesn't mean her experience isn't high. It depends on her partner. Like just because I only had sex with a few people doesn't mean that I've only done a few things. Maybe the guys that I have been with have broadened my horizon. It doesn't mean that I don't know of other things. It only means that I've only had a few people. Like I don't understand how men don't understand that. Let's say I had 3 people, which is a lie. Let's say I had 3 guys. No, let's say I had 2 guys and a woman. Let's say that. I had 2 guys and a woman, but those 2 men were very experienced. And for me to please them, I had to do certain things. Then that's just what it is. It's not in a sense of I had to experience 40 guys in order to please this one guy. It's maybe he was more experienced and I had to catch up to him in order to please him. Because at the end of the day, all women, I don't give a fuck if you're independent, dependent, this, that, and the third, all women want to please their man.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why men feel like that too. Because society has given men this whole Disney Channel angel image of women for years. All that you see in the movies and all that hunky-dory cupcake stuff, when that simply is not the case. And when men can accept the fact that most of these chicks are not angels out here, then you'll be in a better place. A lot of these dudes be surprised when they find out they chick done sucked 3 dicks at once and all that type of shit.
She got a big mouth.
You've been told growing up. That's what I'm saying. You've been told growing up that females don't do this.
Not all dicks are big, son. Not all dicks are big, son. She ain't sucking 3 inches. I tell you that right now, unless she's a white girl.
Right. So that's why, once you get over that holier than thou image, then it is what it is. Now that can also be a bad thing too, because you could have a chick who is being honest, but at the end of the day, you won't believe her. Let's just say that you got a girl who says she only been with one person. Now you probably won't believe it if that's what she told you, and she could be telling the truth. But as far as society goes, once you get rid of that image, that whole red pill thing comes into play, and you be like, well, it's a good chance that you're no angel, but it is what it is. I accept it for what it is.
But is that your own insecurities or is that hers? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, why is it that a woman says it shouldn't be that when a woman says she's only been with one guy, that is something that's unheard of? You know what I'm saying? But because that's the time we live in. No. You're basing it off of dang on media. You're not basing this off of anything other than that. Like let's say, even if you knew 5 women that was out there, you cannot tell me that it's impossible for other women to not be out there like that one. You're basing this off of basic media, because when it comes to dang on your videos, music videos, when it comes to even movies, when it comes to, I know I snuck you, next time don't fuck with me. When it comes to, you better not. When it comes to, dang on, I'm talking, stop. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you. When it comes to dang on music videos, when it comes to movies, when it comes to even the news and shit like that, like it's women, they base all women off of that one. They don't base every woman as an independent. You understand what I'm saying? Like honestly, like if y'all looked at me, like how I post in the TOL sex group, y'all would probably think I was a whore. Y'all would probably think, like, oh my gosh, she's out there fucking this nigga, that nigga, and the next. Just based off of that, I promise you, I haven't had sex since June.
All right, well, let me ask you a real question then. If you could, I'm not saying that you can't, but would you, if you knew that it was no backlash, no stigma that would come with it, mess with as many people as you want and put it out there?
No,
would you?
Because for me personally, I was brought up a different way. My mother brought me up to be, when I was growing up, I only see my mother with one man. Stop, sir. When I was growing up, I only see my mother with one man. It wasn't even my father. When I was growing up, I seen her with one man and one man only.
And what effect do you think that had on you overall as a woman?
Overall, it had an effect like, Aisha, if you're going to be serious with a guy, if you're going to give your body to a guy, he has to be worth it. He has to be worth it, and he has to be somebody you can bring around your children. And that's just what it is. Which is why I bring up, you have to think of the upbringing. That's why I say, well, you have to think of the upbringing with Beyonce. Because with Beyonce, she made it clear that with her father and her mother, there was extramarital activities going on. And she was old enough to know what was going on, which is why she probably I don't want to say settled. It was probably why she dealt with Jay-Z. Because she seen her dad do it to her mom. See, when I grew up, my mother was only with one man, and it wasn't with my father that I can ever remember. It was with, my stepdad, and I still love him to death till this day. Till this day, I still call him like, yo, dad. Because he's the only father I've ever known. But because of how I grew up, like, if it's just a nigga that I just want to fuck and I know I don't want nothing to do with him, like, my kids will never see him.
I feel you on that. I mean, that's not gender exclusive.
Right. If it's a dude that I know that I want to actually be with, I will take my time, but I will eventually bring him around my kids because I have 2 boys. So
You'll take your time, but you'll take your time with what?
I won't take
my time with sex. I will take my time with bringing him around. Exactly.
You said you'll take your time with sex?
No, she wouldn't. She would take her time with bringing him around her children.
I wouldn't take my time with sex. I wouldn't take my time with sex, but I would take my time with bringing him around. Because I want my children I want my children to have the same upbringing.
So, Flic, let me ask both of you this. Have you...
Both of us. You only name one name. I just want to say that.
Yeah. Let me ask both of y'all this. Well, I'm going to ask you this first. Have you ever dated a man that expected you to dress a certain way? And CJ, have you ever dated a woman, or do you view a relationship as, I think I have a say in how my woman dresses?
Correct. Yes. I have definitely dated guys that expected me to dress a certain way. I'm a tomboy. I'm a huge tomboy. I will have baggier sweats than the niggas wear their jeans right now. And exactly.
He said, "Oh no."
But it's the God honest truth. Like I wear a 3X. I wear 3X sweats and all that good stuff. One time that I ever changed my appearance was for my second son's father. And he was like, I want you to dress a little more feminine because this is what I like. And as a woman, I was only 20 at the time. I was 19 when I first met him, 20 when I gave a fuck, honestly. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and change my style because at the end of the day, a woman wants to please her man. So I did that. But, at the end of the day, a nigga still do what a ninja, excuse my language, a ninja still do.
It's all good.
What a ninja wants to do.
What was your experience, CJ? Like, have you ever been with someone who you...
look, I've never dated a tomboy because I know. First off, I like my women very feminine, very dainty. You know what I'm saying?
Dainty.
I like the women.
Oh, I feel like she should have a teacup with her pinky out.
that worked too.
Check you out.
That worked too. The nails and all that. Like I'm not into that tomboy shit. But as far as, are you talking about like her dressing sexy out in public and all that type of shit? Now, if you are referring to that, I just depends. Like, I feel like it depends on the scenario. Like, I be seeing some of these dresses that some of these girls be wearing, and they be like, "Oh, that's too much." To me, it ain't a big deal. I mean, look, if she coming home to me at the end of the day, I'm not gonna trip.
That's
but
what it's
you
all
gotta
about.
understand,
you shouldn't go to church like that.
Right, you're absolutely right. But bro, you gotta understand. Though, while her girls are saying that's too much, understand that when you're saying it's not that bad, there's other dudes out there that's saying that may be too much too, and there may be.
But they're not dating my woman.
No.
So why do I care what they
But it may be piquing their interest. See, because when it comes to women and their sexuality, and how they are allowed to dress, if they're dressing for females too much, because we females be like, get it, sis. But when it's too much for us, most likely, that means that there's other dudes that's going to be looking. And
who cares?
No. But see, you're the last of a dying breed, because motherfuckers coming out right now, they care. You're saying who cares, but dudes coming out right now are saying I care. Like, there's dudes right now that's like, you ain't going to the club like that. Put some fucking pants on.
But first of all, I wouldn't even date no woman. I wouldn't even date no woman that will put me in a position to where I feel like, oh, some shit gotta pop off to get a point across. Like, I'm not finna do that. I got too much to lose. So that shit is crazy. Niggas are thirsty.
But do you understand how that's an issue? Like why?
I'm just saying, like, niggas gonna check.
But that's an issue. Do we understand? Why is it that a woman can walk out with a mini skirt and you have to pop off? Like, do we understand that that's an issue in itself?
Because niggas are thirsty.
Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Bro, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
that brings me to a point, a good point right here.
That brings me to a point where women cannot walk around how they feel. They feel comfortable and they feel sexy without their man having to feel like he has to pop off at another guy because of what it is that they're wearing. That right there in itself is an issue. I should be able to walk around in a bikini and not have to worry about anything.
So check this out. Jill Scott actually issued a statement on social media because a popular wrestler named Big E, he had tweeted saying, do Jill Scott do meet and greets? I'm asking for me. And her response was, she screenshotted him, and her response was, meet and greet, sure. Anything else? Nope. I didn't post that old ass snippet. Piss on whoever did. I would have at least posted that damn point at all. Trust, there's always purpose in what I do. My DMs blowing up, and idiots who will never know what I do for the man I love hollering, hey, big head wasn't it.
Right.
So
my question is this. Wait, guys.
Check
this out. My question is this. Like, how y'all feel about people who, after they see a woman does something that's sexually expressive, they think that gives them the green light to, oh, she gonna give me some ass or some play.
But that's wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's wrong. Just because I do what it is that I feel like I need to do doesn't mean that invites you into my inbox. That doesn't mean that invites you.
Oh, God.
No, but it's wrong though. But this is the issue that women have. If I decided, like, okay, Jay, you know what I posted in our little group, and I had the bottle and I had my tongue out, and I was like, it's a fucking E and J type of night. That doesn't That shouldn't mean that niggas should hop in my inbox like, oh, you suck dick? Oh, you going fuck me? Oh, that means you gonna, like, that shit shouldn't be happening. That shit shouldn't be happening. That shit shouldn't be like, oh, okay, it's an E&J type of night. Why is it that when women decide to express themselves, that men feel like they are literally fucking ordained to hop
I'm gonna tell you why right now.
But that's the issue that we're going through right now. And that is why we have a heightened sexual fucking harassment issues right now. Because
I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me ask you a question. Who's your who's one of your biggest celebrity crushes?
Me?
Yeah.
Idris Elba. And he's fucking perfect. I wish you would.
Okay. All right, cool. Now say you was Jill Scott, you did exactly what Jill Scott did on stage. If Idris Elba hopped in your DMs, would you be offended?
I would definitely be offended.
Bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. Let me tell you something.
Bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. Let me tell you something, because I'm more than what the fuck I can do with a microphone. Do you understand? If you wasn't hopping in my DMs when I was portrayed as this fat chick that was being played by this nigga, and fucking why did I get married? If you wasn't hopping in my inbox when I was like, let's take a walk, nigga, then don't be hopping in my inbox because I'm sitting over here doing this shit with a microphone. Because when I'm doing this shit with a microphone, listen. When Jill Scott was doing that with a microphone, you don't know where her mind was. As a musician, you don't know where her mind was.
I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about Jill Scott. I'm talking about you. If Idris didn't know you, no. I said if she was doing, if you were doing what Jill Scott was doing, and Idris didn't know you, and he said, hey, Flic, I saw the video and everything like that. Let me just take you out to dinner or something like that.
I would take offense to that. I wouldn't even entertain
it. Oh my God.
And I'm telling you, no. First off, I'm a grown ass woman. Let's gotta make that shit clear. I'm a grown ass woman. If the only reason why you're hitting me up is because I pretended to give head to a fucking microphone, my nigga, you could exit stage left.
So you wouldn't give Idris Elba no coochie?
I promise you I wouldn't.
Oh my God.
I mean, hey.
I promise
you. Just said the nigga was You just said the nigga was perfect. If Idris Elba came to your door right now and said, I want to smash, you want to smash him?
No.
Oh
why do I have to smash? Because I feel like he's perfect. He's perfect. No. When I say that he's perfect, I meant like as far as like my celebrity crush. He's perfect. I don't know who this guy is other than that. He could beat bitches for all I know. He could be ready to kill bitches.
I'm talking about a one night stand. That's all. I'm not getting into the whole character profile.
And I'm telling you, Aisha had her first one night stand and her only one night stand when she was 30 years old. That's it. I had one night stand my entire life.
With a nigga who was not famous. So you telling me you wouldn't do Idris Elba?
You think I give a fuck? That's when you mistake the girls for the women. See,
no, but I'm just saying.
I'm telling you for the longest. The thing is that you're mistaking the girls from the women. See, I would have known that I went viral. I would have known that I went viral in order to get his attention.
But what I'm saying is this.
For me because of money, status, all of that dumb shit. That's for somebody else. You gotta deal with the girls. That's for the girls. When you come,
but you had a one night stand with somebody who wasn't Idris Elba, and I'm asking you.
I had a one night stand because I purposely wanted to have a one night stand. That's why I had a one night stand. Because honestly, if we want to keep it real, G, I blocked his number because he kept calling me. After this one night stand, I had to make it a one night stand. If we're gonna keep it real, G, I was like, no, sweetheart. I didn't even tell him my real name. He was texting me, calling me some other name. I didn't even mean to give him my real number. As a matter of fact, I didn't give him my real number.
So wait a minute.
It was people that knew him that gave him my real number and was like, go ahead and hit. This is her real number. She's cool people's. And I had to block him. If we're going to keep it real,
okay, let's do that. Let me ask you this. So you had sex with a guy who you didn't give him your real name or number. So What was it about him that made you screw him that night, and you wouldn't screw Idris Elba if the circumstances was the same?
It wasn't about him. It was about me. I had told myself that I wanted to have a one-night stand. I'm like, you know what, Aisha? Everybody's living life, and you're such a cornball. Why the fuck is it that you've been in all these relationships, been engaged, this, that, and the third, but you haven't had a one-night stand? So I told myself I was going to have a one-night stand. And that motherfucker was a victim. Not my fault.
And you ended up regretting it, or?
Hell no. I don't know who the fuck that nigga is. I gave him the pussy and kept it moving. He the one who kept it moving. Listen, I'm going to keep it deep with you. Gave him the pussy and kept it moving. He kept calling me. I blocked his number. Haven't heard from him since. I promise you, on my kids, I can't remember his name.
But you wouldn't. Okay, but you wouldn't. But I'm asking, you wouldn't fuck Idris Elba though.
She's stressing the point that she wouldn't do a one night stand based off she already got that out of her.
So you would have to get to know Idris Elba for a couple weeks before you fucked him.
Yes.
All right.
No, but it's a guy. But I mean, not for nothing. But I mean, not for nothing. If we're gonna keep it all the way G, I'm gonna keep it G with you because I've been drinking. I can't even lie. If we're gonna keep it all the way G with you, I probably wouldn't fuck him because I know he's engaged to another chick.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know he's engaged to another chick, and I probably wouldn't even fuck him. But I mean, but I can't speak on every female in the world.
I'm not talking about every female. I'm talking about. I'm asking you.
I'm talking about me. Okay. So me, Aisha, Camille, and Flic.
You ain't got to throw out the whole government. You dig?
The whole government. Hey yo, but Google me. Yo, I'm a badass Marine. Google me. But like.
Semper Fi. Shout out.
But like real talk. Like honestly, with me, like it ain't that easy. I could be. Motherfuckers think that because they're famous. What you say?
It's not.
I know you know it's not. Thank you. And I got a regular nigga saying that. It's not that easy for me.
Yo, Flic, you ever any
it's
other women?
For me.
Any other women ever made you feel like you couldn't, like they frowned upon you being yourself because they were more reserved? Tell me about that type of experience and how that made you feel.
Yes, absolutely. Because I am very sexual. I've only been with a few guys, but I can't say that with every guy that I was as reserved. I'm gonna keep it that way. So there was.
Why were you reserved with the other ones?
Because I didn't trust them. You know, as you grow older, you grow wiser. So, when I grew older, I became more reserved. When I was younger, I was a bat out of hell. And there were a lot of women that, like when I grew up, I'm gonna keep it with you. When I grew up, it was always like niggas weren't shit. Mm-hmm. I had my 3 sisters and my mother, and they always told me niggas weren't shit. So these niggas were a dime a dozen to me. So if I decided to give you the pussy, I decided to give you the pussy. If I decided
why did they feel like that? Did you ever ask them why they felt like that?
No. I honestly, I never did. Only because, they're so much older than me. So I figured that they're so much wiser than me. And when they taught me.
Do you still feel that way?
Yes. Yes, I do. Why?
Well, no, I was gonna ask, because I see a lot of women say that niggas ain't shit, but it's hard for a lot of women to take a good look in the mirror at themselves and be like, how come because it's almost like every nigga that you fuck with ain't shit. Well,
right.
The common denominator is you.
Correct. Correct. And I realized that. I realized that, I want to say, when I was 26. I was 26 when I realized that. I'm like, okay, Aisha, you need to get your life straight, because the niggas that you are attracting
is a reflection.
It's a reflection of who I am. But that was because of my younger years. Habits, they die hard.
For sure.
And so, because I grew up when niggas weren't shit, I treated these niggas like these niggas treated bitches.
Damn.
And so, I sure
and that's
did.
That's another problem too. But we'll get into that later.
That is an issue. I'm not saying that my family raised me perfectly. I'm just telling you how my.
No, and I'm not talking about your fam. A lot of females try to develop the mindset of a male, and they try to think like men and do all the stuff that men do, when you can only assume that you know. Like, I would never say I could think like a female, because I'm not a female. I can't. I don't have the hormones.
Right.
I don't have all that stuff. But women try to be men and end up, in most cases, getting themselves hurt in the end.
You so busy trying
to be
act like a woman, think like a man.
Yeah, you so busy trying to be a dude that you end up with niggas who ain't shit, and you get pregnant by these niggas, or you end up fucking around, get an STD, or whatever the case may be, because you so focused on doing what a nigga, that it blinds you from simple shit.
And you're absolutely correct. Because I've been on all the sides you just said. I had an STD and I got pregnant. It is what it is. I've been there and I got the t-shirt. Good thing my STD was curable. Thank you, chlamydia. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've had chlamydia.
Keeping it real. I mean, it's the Undiluted Podcast. Everything, no watered down shit.
So we gonna keep it G. We don't do no watered down shit. So,
right.
So, like, growing up, my sisters are a lot older than me. My mother, she had me when she was older. She was 35, but she had my first sister when she was 20. So my oldest sister is 15 years older than me. The sister that's closest to me in age is 12 years older than me. So I was 6 years old watching my sister that's closest to me. She was 18. You know what I'm saying? So I was seeing adult shit at such a young age, but I didn't understand it. When I got to like 10, 12, I was like, okay, Cherie, Kenesha, Patrice, what's going on? And they was schooling me on shit. So from the age of 10, 11, 12, I thought niggas weren't shit. Like, up until, honestly, even now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. These niggas, like I said, my ex just walked in. These niggas to me ain't shit.
Even if they approach you as a complete gentleman, or like, like you said the other day, like, man, I ain't gonna say the brother name because I don't want his name on here, but you told this one brother we know, like, you're a nice guy, you come off as the Drake type. You know what I'm saying? You even look at that type of.
I repeat his name. Fuck out of here, Lewis comes off as Drake. Let me tell you something, Lewis. I love you to death, but you can't fuck with a female like me, because I will run you.
Damn.
Why? Why? Because what?
I'll run you.
That's good. That's true.
And I'm being completely motherfucking honest. I will fucking run you.
Now, for the listeners who don't understand that mentality, I understand it. But why will you run him?
Because I wouldn't believe that he is who he is. See, Aisha, I grew up with a whole bunch of niggas that weren't like him. You understand what I'm saying? Like I've seen my sister's ex-boyfriends, baby daddies, ex-husbands, this, that, and the third. So when I see him, I'm already I'm already what is the word?
He's too nice.
Too nice. Right, exactly. I'm already built for niggas that's like them, that when I see him, I'm like, nigga. Okay,
Flic,
so you gonna be real nice? So how nice you gonna be?
He gonna be the guy that ain't been around the block, and he gonna be the guy that rub your head at night.
But
and he
I
gonna
won't
be the
be
guy
able to accept him, and I can accept that. I won't be able to fully accept him, and that's something that I have to work on. I'm not saying that I'm the perfect person. I'm just saying Aisha is who she is. A Flic is who she is. I'm not saying that I'm the
Flic,
perfect
the thing
person.
is though, what you're saying, that's female nature. Because you can't
That's
be
not all
with
female
a dude,
nature, though.
but you can't be at
It's
its
a lot with our
because you
generation,
He can
though.
because you can't be with a dude like that because you don't feel like subconsciously, whether you know it or not. If you feel like you can run him, you feel like that he can't protect you from the shit that's out
He
there.
can't protect me. I don't feel like he can protect me. I feel like if me and Lewis was on the 2 train, and that motherfucker,
fuck. She just...
right, like we gonna bring it back to New York, and some random dude slapped the phone out of his hand, he's gonna be like, man, why did you do that? I'll be the first person to jump.
Oh, come on, don't do my man like that.
Lewis, I gotta see what this is.
I'm so sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry, and if I get you wrong, I apologize. But this is just how I feel, and that's just what it is. Because at the end of the day, every human being goes off how they feel. They go off how they were brought up. They go off their feelings, and that's just it. That's just it. We can't go off of anything that's outside of what we are used to. And that's just what it is. We can learn from where we are presently to where, if someone teaches us something differently. But if we are used to a certain thing, if we grew up seeing a certain thing, and then as an adult, we have dealt with a certain thing, we can only have experience in a certain thing. And that's just it. We can only speak on that certain thing.
Flic, let me ask you this. As a woman who's a Marine, I'm sure you've been a lot of places all over the world, and it's different cultures, according to where you are. How you feel about places like a Saudi Arabia, where a woman can't, they have to have their head covered.
Ain't no fucking way, son. Ain't no fucking way, son. You ain't even gotta finish that sentence. Ain't no fucking way. Let me tell you something. I had a motherfucker from Saudi Arabia hit me up on IG. I promise you not. I could send you the fucking in my IG. He hit me up and he was like, "This is what I want you to do." I said, "First of all, who the fuck you talking to?" Understand, you gotta know who the fuck you talking to, because I visited the Middle East, my nigga. I ain't from there. So no. Like when it comes to something like that, like nah, son, like you're talking to a different people. You have to know who you are talking to in order to know how to come at them. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can't come at me talking about, okay, I'll marry you, I have billions of dollars, but you have to wear you have to wear robes. My nigga, I ain't wearing no robes for no billions of dollars. Let me tell you something real quick.
Shit, I would.
I'ma put on.
He said I put that motherfucker on.
But you know what? But like I said before.
If one of those Saudi Arabian chicks was like, you gotta wear a robe for $1 billion, nigga, I'll be robed out.
I might throw that motherfucker on, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Money isn't anything to me. I got money. That's I don't care. I don't have billions. Don't get me wrong. I don't even have millions. But I'm a thousandaire like a motherfucker. But
check this out. Do you feel you've ever catered to a man's insecurities?
I always cater to my man's insecurities.
Hell no. That's crazy. But see, who wanna deal with that though?
And that's crazy though. But because of the way my family raised me, and my sisters were like, niggas ain't shit, this and that and the third. If at the end of the day, I could always, just like anything else, we can always take in what people say to us. But how we feel always has, it's always on a higher echelon. You know, understand what I'm saying? Like every nigga, I can't sit here, I'll be lying if I sat here and told you that every man that I dealt with, I catered to. That's a lie. But every man that I felt a higher connection to, I catered to, and that's
who you respected.
God's honest truth. And
can you give us some examples of these insecurities?
I could put him on the phone.
No, you don't have to put them. You don't got to put
Oh,
them on.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Just throw a couple examples out there.
Well, let me ask you this: why you not with him right now?
Because at the end of the day, I'm not beat. Because I'm not beat. Everybody always goes back to home. No matter what. No matter what the fuck it is, everybody always goes back to home. So when shit ain't adding up, you always go back home. And home for me was what my sisters and my mother taught me. So when shit don't add up and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, because not for nothing, and I know this may sound sad and I don't give a fuck. I had to learn how to cater to a man through media.
But when you say you're not B, what does that mean? What does not B? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I'm not about to be played. I'm not. I shall not from New York. Okay. I'm not about to be played. That's about as real as I can keep it. I don't know how else beat could be.
But do you got feelings for him?
My ex?
Yeah.
No, he in my fucking room for no reason. I told him that before he fucking came over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna discuss it, but I'm saying I'm gonna keep it G.
Right, but do y'all fuck around?
No.
He getting personal, man. Yeah, you got.
Yeah, you got to. This is undiluted, right?
Undiluted.
That's true.
I mean, we keep it real. But I told him what it was. But I mean, it is what it is. But like for me, like if I feel like I have to, if I get to the point where I want to cater to you, you have to be able to cater to me. And I don't ask
everything should be 50-50, you dig?
No. And that's where you're wrong. Everything should be 100-100.
I'm just saying
100-100.
I'm just saying shit should be
50-50. I don't want half of you, I want all of you. Because I'm giving you all of me. Because if you was to get half of me, you might get a text. I'm
talking about the 100% as a whole. You combine it with somebody else to form that 100%. That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's the problem though, is that we put it at 100%. Why can't it be 2? Why can't it be 200%?
I mean, it could be that.
Why does it have to be 100% in order for it to? No, I don't want somebody that's at 50% of their life. I want somebody that's at 100%.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what you meant. But I want people to get used to hearing 100%. I want you to be like, I want you to have a clear and complete and mutual motherfucking agreement with your fucking self and your significant other of what is expected of you as a lover. I feel that. I need it to be of who is it, what is it supposed to, as not even just as a lover, but as a human being. Because some people don't even see it like, because what you have to understand is that everybody's real is different. Everybody's loyalty is different. And everybody's love is different. So not only do you have to find somebody that's compatible, it has to be at 100% of that shit. Because what I can't stand is that you're battling underlying issues and that you expect Aisha to fill in the gaps. I can never fill in the gaps for you. You have to be who the hell you need to be for you first before you can give me anything. I don't want half a plate of food, my nigga. I want collard greens, macaroni and cheese, the ham, the turkey, the
you name it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. Don't give me a plate of rice and think I'm supposed to fucking make a meal out of it. That's not how it is. That's not how relationships go. And when I grew up, growing up, my sisters always told me that you have to love yourself more than anybody else. Like you have to love yourself more than anybody else loves you, but you have to love yourself before, like you said, before anybody else loves you. Because how you love you is what you attract. And I didn't love myself because that's easier said than done. And I've learned that even up until this day, that I attract people based on how much I love myself.
So as far as what you're trying to attract, what is it that you would say you are trying to attract that you need at this point in your life?
I'm trying to attract people on the same level. I have my own car. I have my own place. I have an 800 credit score. I have my own.
Or that's doing better.
Huh?
Or that's doing better.
What do you mean? Oh, that's doing better?
Or that's, you said, on your same level, or that's doing better than you.
I mean, if they're doing better than me, then I'm not mad because I love to learn. But if you're doing better than me, that's a plus because a man is to lead. See, because that's a big thing in the community. In the Black community, in any community, a man is supposed to lead. You can't lead me.
How do you feel about certain guys who they want to lead, but they intimidated by women who have, a better position or more money than them, so they look for women that they see as weak, so that they can be in a position to lead that woman.
Then they're not a real
Your
leader.
financial status shouldn't have nothing
but
to
you
do
said
with
weak.
it
But
at the
you
end of the
said,
day.
What they view as weak.
But what they view
What
is weak.
the man view.
No.
From the man's perspective, because I know I know a couple of guys who they avoid like the strong-minded women or the super independent women, and they look for a woman who has to depend on them to a certain extent.
But don't ask the woman that, ask the man. Don't ask the women that.
I'm speaking for myself.
Oh no, but I'm telling you. That's
that whole super independent thing.
That's a man's issue. Because women, at the end of the day, even if we could pay for our own shit, women don't necessarily, when we say that we want to be led, it doesn't have to necessarily be financial, because financial could come from many reasons. We real women, especially in the Black community, know that men already have 2 strikes against them. So we already know that men go through a whole lot of more shit than we can ever do. So, and going way back to what you said, when a man cheats on a girl, this, that, and third, she'll take him back. Is we look at everything. We don't just look at your financial shit. We look at how you were raised, the shit you've been.
But you'll more likely take a nigga back who making 100,000 versus a nigga who's working at Subway part time. Stop playing.
Stop. I would more likely take a man back if he was being real with me than if he was lying to me. If a man was to say, let me tell you something. If I was with my man for 2 years and he was like, you know what, Flic, I fucked up. I know I was wrong. I didn't answer your calls. I was with another chick. And I know I was dead ass fucking wrong. Please forgive me. I won't fuck up again. I'm going to give him his shit. I will give him some shit and I might make him sweat it. I will definitely make him sweat it out.
Why though?
Because I don't want, because at the end of the day, we know that there's bitches that would just take him back and call it a day. I don't want him to be comfortable cheating on me. Do you understand?
But no. Why would you take him back after he already disrespected you?
It depends on what else he brings. There's rich niggas.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to say.
It depends on what else he brings. Listen, if you're fuck financial. If you're bringing everything else, like if you're honest with me, and you're dang on, if you're good with my kids, I have 2 children. You're good with my kids. You make sure everything is okay with my house. You fucking make sure, for the most part, other than cheating on me.
Security is pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Security. If security is good, then I'm gonna be like, you know what? I love you. Security is great. Okay, fine. You made a human mistake. Because I don't think any of these things...
Which is what I said earlier in so many words. I said the same thing, but you just took the money part away from it and just added other shit to it.
No, yeah, because, money's not an issue for me. I can't speak on any other females. For me, money is not an issue because I'm pulling in figures. So with or without...
Big money Flic.
Right,
not even that, but you saying you would take a nigga back who cheated on you when you clearly you don't have to. You making this money, but why? And you don't have to.
No, I don't have to. You're absolutely right. I don't have to.
Right.
But
she's saying all his positives would outweigh that.
On what I've already experienced. Because I have already experienced dumb shit from dumb niggas. If I see someone that adds value to my life and he made a human mistake, that's a human mistake for me. Now that's just me.
No, it's not. First off, cheating is no mistake. Number one, you don't mistakenly put your dick in another bitch.
Correct.
You do it because you want to do it.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And number two,
choice.
the undiluted version of what you said is because you're comfortable. Just keep it a buck.
Yeah,
you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, comfortable. Absolutely right. Okay, we can do it that way. We can say that.
Yeah,
we can say that. We can say because I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable with it.
Because it depends on
what the stuff for the kid.
What I want to add in there.
You're right.
To add to what she's saying.
How comfortable I am with that person. You're absolutely right. But I think that's not just a woman thing. That's an everybody thing. When someone is bringing
to add to what you saying, I feel like ain't nothing wrong with forgiving somebody that when you look at all the positives they brought to the table and you say that outweighs the negative. You dig? That's all I'm saying.
You can forgive them all day, but number one, you'll never trust them again. You'll never trust them again.
That's not true.
It's possible, but
well. All I'm saying, chick cheat on me. I don't care how many positives she's bringing into my life. You cheating on me is the ultimate form of disrespect.
And there are some women who feel the same way. But for me personally, I'm talking about me. I can't speak for any other woman. For me personally, I've been cheated on.
I have too, and CJ I might have. I'm not sure.
Right, like.
Okay, well, I don't personally know. I don't personally know if I have, but if I have, the girls were just good enough not to get caught.
If they were of value to me, and value can go as deep as virtue, other than the cheating. Because if you're virtuous, you're not really a cheater. But you know, like if it's deeper, like, you know, if the value that you bring to me is a lot
deeper than simply.
Hello?
You still there, Aisha?
Well, like I said, women will put up with certain shit from certain niggas. At the end of the day, if you're a nigga of stature or you provide security in whatever form, she'll tolerate it. Not all, but most.
It reminds me of a meme I saw when it was like, man, girls, if you got Vanessa forgave Kobe, but
Kobe worth 175 M's, my nigga.
But you won't forgive me for liking some girls' pics, and they like, man,
because you broke, nigga.
The chick, you're
not Kobe. You don't got the status.
It was like, man, fucking with Kobe, he do me wrong. Shit, he worth this amount of money and a superstar. I'm healing like Wolverine.
Right, shit. Look at Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's side bitch wrote Gabrielle Union a letter saying what we did up at your house and the chefs and all that shit. Yeah, she ain't going nowhere. Like, she give a fuck. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah, listeners.
She probably know. Like, look, man, this nigga Dwayne Wade, he probably fuck with other bitches. I done caught one. It is what it is. Nah, D Wade was very disrespectful for bringing the side bitch to the house. He was real disrespectful for that.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I fought him on it. Yeah, he was in the cook. She know the cook name and all. Now you not supposed to do that, especially if you care about the woman. You file for that. I fought D Wade, but Gabrielle, you weren't going nowhere.
No, they just had a child also through a surrogate.
Yeah, come on, man, stop it. Old girl wasn't going nowhere.
But before
she probably had a prenup.
Before we get ready to wrap things up, Aisha, I guess she had her phone went out or whatever.
Her dude was ready for that Jill Scott.
Or whatever the case. Yeah, let's get back around to Jill Scott before we wrap up. Like I said, I mean, the incident was blown out of proportion.
Way out of. But Jill Scott, I didn't know she responded to Big E. Now she doing too much.
Yeah,
you got the attention.
That's on Instagram. She took a screenshot.
Man, you doing too much. You doing too much now. Like you doing. Nah, stop it. Nah, you got the attention you wanted. Nah, stop. Talking about some. Oh, people another experience. Stop it. Now you doing way too much.
Yeah, and let me ask you this: you said your view of a woman would be tainted no matter how good she is in the present. Like, say for instance, you getting ready to settle down, or you have already settled down with this young lady, and a video from a year ago like this situation pops up. How you react to that, and how would you feel
if she was doing that? If she was doing, or if she was act like a real video of her getting down for real.
Let's say
I asked my girl before I got with her. I asked my girl before I got with her, is there any videos of you out here on the internet doing some wild shit? I asked her that. I swear to God, she in the next room. I'll put it right on the phone if you didn't believe me. I asked her that.
And she said no, right?
No. And she said no, and I believe her. Because if I found it, I would feel some type of way. I asked her that. Like any girl I'm with, I only think that's the only, because I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want somebody like you or one of my other homies be like, nigga, I seen your girl on Pornhub getting down, nigga.
Oh yeah, that's
getting down.
That's a lot of guys' worst nightmare, man.
That's what I'm saying. So just tell me the truth. Give me that choice to decide if I really want to fuck with you, even if you have done some shit like that. I'm not here to judge, but you should still give me the opportunity to mess with you or not. If some shit like that is out there, I ain't trying to mess with nobody with no sex tape out here in the game like that. You know, I don't want to have to explain that shit to my child one day. This is why niggas wife up certain people. Like, yeah, you'll fuck a hoe, you'll fuck a Cardi B type chick or whoever. But at the end of the day, you really want to take home a Michelle Obama with them freak qualities. At the end of the day, that's all that is. And a lot of these chicks gotta understand that they want to, like, you got to make a choice. Either you take the whole route. Niggas want, the thing is, they want to be niggas without being niggas, without the attention. See, niggas want the attention that females get. They want the attention from women. They want girls all in their DMs saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" Niggas want that, and they want that. They don't care about that. You do. So whether you like it or not, if you go outside in a bikini, you're doing it for attention. I don't care what you say. Until you're gonna get the attention that you seek.
Or maybe maybe they work their ass off in the gym and they just
and they
doing it for themselves and want to flaunt off that 6-pack or that nice ass they got.
But the problem is they not getting the attention from the right person. They getting it from the dusty niggas. Now your girl was on some bullshit, and I told her that. Like, she talking about if Idris was to be in her DM, she'll be like, no, stop playing. If you giving pussy to niggas who ain't got shit, you think you gonna turn down a nigga like that? Stop playing.
But to be fair, she did say the one night stand thing was a one-time thing, and then it's something she don't want to do.
Well, the nigga, she didn't even get her real name too. So you telling me you ain't gonna give it to Idris?
Yeah, I gotta bring you and Flic back on. We gotta have another discussion, man. This went pretty well. This was pretty raw and uncut, and just this turned out pretty well. This is a discussion that needs to be had, like not only by us, but others as well.
Anytime you need me back on the show, man, just hit me up.
Most definitely, man. So listeners, I mean, Aisha, you listening to this, thank you, Flic, for coming on and telling us about your experiences, and, you know what I'm saying, feeling comfortable to be on here doing your thing. And CJ, thank you also for coming on here. And we got to link up again and do this again, depending on what's going on with the world or whatever the case.
All right.
Listeners, Till the next time, thank you for listening to the Undiluted Podcast. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple, whatever you're listening to. Do more than just hit that play button. Subscribe, please. And you can email us at undilutedpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or wherever. In the future, anything you want to promote, CJ?
No, not really right now. But I'll be having some stuff coming up soon. So but yeah, y'all can just add me on Facebook. Well, actually, I keep my shit private. So yeah, I'll just holler at y'all.
Yeah, and once again, thank you, Flic. And until the next episode, love, peace. See y'all later.
Yeah.